The year was 1995, and Pizza Hut was at the height of its power. They were on the eve of delivering two of the best and most memorable gifts in food history. The $5 all-you-can-eat lunch buffet, the greatest deal in the history of humanity. When they said all-you-can-eat, they meant please abuse this policy. And we did. And then, of course, there was the stuffed crust pizza. The pizza that changed how you ate a slice. The pizza you ate crust first.
Jail. Right away.
To a 10-year-old kid, this was hard for the mind to comprehend. Pizza had rules and this one broke them all.
Crust first.
But today, Pizza Hut is a shell of its former self, and its fall off will be studied. Now I hear today Pizza Hut's trying to make a comeback, bring itself back to life. And today we're going to do the same, just a bit more refined like the cooks we are. This is the stuffed crust pizza.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
And like pizza dough usually, it starts a day or two ahead. And I like to start my dough with a starter. If you've got one, great. If you don't, you gotta jump back one prior day to get this started by mixing 120 grams of water and about 4 grams of instant yeast. With 120 grams of bread flour, mix it all together, hydrate all the flour, and then cover and place in the fridge for 1 to 2 days. Then you'll have a starter like this. In a mixer, add 220 grams of the starter with 345 grams of warm water. Mix on low to break the starter up, and then add in 10 grams of sugar, and we've got about 15 grams of olive oil, and begin slowly adding the 615 grams of bread flour. Once all the bread flour is mixed in, turn the machine off, cover the dough, and let it rest for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it's relaxed, it's more hydrated, and it's ready for the salt. Add the salt, then let that mix for about 6 to 8 minutes on a low speed. After 6 to 8 minutes, turn the machine off and let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're just going to repeat that process of mixing, resting, and after about 2 to 3 times of doing that, we're gonna start to test for the window pane. We want to make sure the dough can stretch until it's thin enough to see light through it without tearing. Then we're gonna transfer the dough out of the mixing bowl onto the table and perform a couple slap and folds. Begin to shape the dough into a ball. Place that in a large bowl and cover it and allow it to bulk ferment for 3 to 4 hours. You're looking for it to rise a bit and show signs of some bubbles forming and just be generally nice and jiggly. Then portion them into 300-gram dough balls, place them in containers, cover, and place in the fridge to ferment for 1 to 3 days. So that's the next day or 2 days. You can let this dough ferment for 24, 48, 72 hours. So plan accordingly, but we're making stuffed crust pizza today, so it's about to come out and temper, rise a little bit, get nice and puffy, let the warmth of the room proof the doughs before we make them. Now to prepare the pizza sauce, you could really use any type of sauce to make a pizza. And one of the basic ways to do it is you just take good tomatoes. You could fresh mill or puree some whole peeled, or you can get a really good passata. This is nice because it's a nice controlled consistency, perfect for pizza. All we have to do to that is salt it, season it, a little olive oil, can just perfume it with a little basil and stir it. I'm sure Pizza Hut almost makes their sauce out of tomato paste, and we're good to go with that. Next we have the garlic butter. So I got about 3 tablespoons of butter. Just gonna melt that really quickly. Not all the way, just wanna kinda get it warm and melty. Stirrable, but not boiling. And we're gonna add some garlic powder and some fresh parsley. This goes around the rim of the crust at the end. So you just like that. And then I swirl it to just dissolve the rest of the butter. Then we can add some garlic powder, then some dried parsley. That's nice. We're just gonna keep that warm on the back burner. And then of course we have cheese sticks. This is gonna go around the crust, and you kind of want them nice and room temp. And some more low moisture mozzarella shredded and some pepperoni. Now this is what the dough looks like. You've got these really gentle bubbles here, right? So you see that fermentation's going, but it's not overly fermented. I'm gonna pour some flour onto the board. We've got our oven that's been preheating for about 2 hours at 500 degrees. First up, I'm gonna get a little scraper here. I'm gonna get some flour on it. Drop it at the seam, cut it, then pick it up and drop it in the flour. And then get it out of the flour. Now we can start to roll it out. I'm gonna sort of roll out more like a New York style pizza. And what we're gonna do is sort of have a crust, but it's gonna be like more of like a little moat, a little wall. And I'm gonna go on this side, press it out, and then I'm gonna flip it. Do the same thing on the other side. And then now I have the mound in the center. I can just sort of push it out. And we can flip it and do it again to the other side. Now we want to make sure we know where the top is. This is the top, this is the bottom that's ugly. The bottom that's ugly is where we're gonna make the pizza, but we're gonna kind of flip it throughout this. Now I'm gonna take my hand here, kind of like that, not like that. I'm gonna stretch it. Then fold it over and twist. You're tossing it over your hand and then twisting. Now we can go with our hand. I'm just gonna kind of try and get it as big as I can. I need a border to allow the mozzarella to be stuffed in. I'm gonna get some cornmeal on my pizza peel. I find cornmeal is just a bit of a safer bet at home. Now we're gonna go ahead with our mozzarella sticks. Line them up and then we're gonna roll them over. Stretch that dough over the mozz. Crimp to the bottom. You have to seal the dough. Now what I'm gonna do is let this sort of rest. I want it to proof a little bit for like 5 minutes so that I can more easily seal that mozzarella in. So what the little rest is doing, it's just allowing that to get a little stickier and allowing that seal to run all the way along the inside. If you don't get it sealed, you're running the risk of a blowout. Now onto the tomato sauce. Then it becomes pretty easy, just take it to the sides. Pepperoni. Into the oven, 500 degrees, until it looks crisp and beautiful.
But I made one mistake. I think a little too much cheese in the crust blew out too early and browned too fast before the dough could properly cook. We're gonna do a redo.
Now we're back the next day and I've workshop a few things. For example, cut the mozzarella sticks in half and then froze them, lined against the bowl so they're actually a little bit curved. I think the problem is just too much cheese in the dough. Not that we're doing anything wrong, it's just too much going on. We're gonna get one of our dough balls out. We're just gonna press it out. Start to work it out a little bit, create a nice shape with the slap and fold. It's almost like the same as spinning the dough, except you're just doing it sideways instead of vertically. Onto the peel, start lining the mozzarella. Water on the inside, fold over, press down. And make sure again, we have that really nice seal. On with the sauce.
This time I diced the cheese to help it melt a little bit slower.
Then the pepperoni. Into a 550 degree oven, a little hotter than yesterday. Pizza's just about done. Doesn't look like any crazy blowouts, but I'm gonna hit that broiler on top, try and get some color on top of the dough, and then pull it out. Should be done. Hit it with that garlic butter and the aroma hits you immediately. Then when you take a little parm, just dust the crust. Remember, you eat the crust first. It's a pretty damn good pizza. It doesn't taste like Pizza Hut, it tastes better. Better cheese, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. No, just kidding. Recipe for this is gonna be down in the description. That's all that I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself. Go feed yourself.